back to another one, you guys. If you are new to the channel, my name is Andrew with Younger Nissan in Frederick, Maryland. For more information on our inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. And so we are in this one today because there's actually a couple nice changes for the 2022 model year. All-wheel drive is available as well, which you can't always say for all sedans out there right now. And if you actually get a new Nissan at Younger Nissan, you will actually get a double powertrain warranty, which is a big selling point as well. But ultimately, in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing it. So as you can imagine, there are several different trim levels for the 2022 Altima. First one being the S, starting at $24,550, and that is a front wheel drive configuration only. SV for $25,550. SR, which is the one we are in today, starting at $26,550. SR Midnight Edition, which is a new trim level for the 2022 model year. That one goes for $28,300. SL for $29,990. SR VC Turbo for $30,900. That's front wheel drive only. And then the Platinum for $34,250. That one is all-wheel drive only. But for all of those trims I didn't mention, they come standard with front wheel drive. But if you wanted to add all-wheel drive, simply add $1,400 into any of those prices. But as you can imagine, with all of those trim levels, there are two different engine configurations available for the Altima. First one is going to belong to all trim levels but the VC Turbo. That is going to be a 2.5 liter direct injected inline four-cylinder, putting out 188 horsepower for the front wheel drive, 182 for the all-wheel drive, 180 pound-feet of torque for the front wheel drive, 178 for the all-wheel drive. Sent to front wheels or all wheels, of course, through a CVT. 0 to 60 time is going to come in at approximately 7.4 seconds, with MPG numbers coming in at 28 in the city, 39 on the highway for the front wheel drive, 25 city, 35 then on the highway for the all-wheel drive. But so then there is that other power plant, of course, belonging to the VC Turbo. That one is going to be a 2 liter turbocharged inline four-cylinder, putting out 248 horsepower at 5,600 RPM, 273 pound-feet of torque, coming in at 4,000 RPM. Power sent to front wheels through a CVT with paddle shifters on that one. We do actually have paddle shifters on our SR trim level as well, so we will be testing those out in a little bit here. But 0 to 60 time coming in at approximately 5.8 seconds, with MPG numbers coming into 25 in the city, 34 then on the highway. And so before we do any kind of fun acceleration test here in our Altima, I did want to mention to you guys the drive mode, singular. It is a sport driving mode, and it is a horizontal line located just underneath of the shifter, or on the shifter, I should say. So if you press that, that is going to adjust things like the shift points and the throttle response. So having now gotten all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find a straightaway. Let's put the paddle shifters and acceleration at the same time here to the test. And let's see how quickly the paddle shifters react, and let's see how quickly we can get our new Altima here up to speed. All right, here we go. Quick paddle shifters. All right, definitely quick paddle shifters. Now keep in mind, this is a CVT, so technically we're not shifting gears because, again, it's a CVT, but you do have a little bit of control with the paddle shifters, which is a good thing when you're pairing it up with a CVT, because the CVT is kind of emotionless. So the paddle shifters being there is definitely a good thing. Having said that, it's not the quickest thing in the world, but it's definitely going to be enough to merge you onto the highway, so no issues with the acceleration there. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. And so up front, you will find 11.7-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 11.5-inch solid rear discs. As far as that 60 to 0 stopping distance goes, that is going to come in at 120 feet, which is plenty respectable. As far as braking feel goes, honestly, it feels perfect. Definitely no dead spots in the braking feel. It's not a soft braking feel. It tends to lean a little bit on the firmer side of things, which I personally appreciate. So braking feel is 100% on point in the Altima. Then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get an independent strut type front suspension. In the back, independent multi-link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars. Also a sport tune suspension for all SR trim levels. That is pretty darn cool. We got that today, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Having said that, as far as ride quality goes, sometimes the trade-off is a firmer ride, as it is here in the Altima SR that we particularly have today. So definitely leans on the firmer side of things. You can feel a little bit more of the road. Perhaps if we didn't have that sport tune suspension, maybe that would be a different story. But in this one, yeah, you can feel a decent amount of the road. As far as steering feel goes, it feels good. Honestly, it leans towards the heavier side of things, at least for a sedan. So definitely no issues there. Actually, I'm a big fan of the steering feel, so I like that. As far as cabin noise goes, you hear a little bit of the engine when you get up in the higher RPMs, but other than that, it's actually doing pretty good. Not a whole lot of exterior wind noise or anything like that coming into the cabin. So well done, Nissan, for that. And actually part of that may be due in part because we do have an acoustic laminated front windshield for all trim levels across the board. So that is pretty nice as well. But then touching on visibility, I can see 100% perfectly fine out the back. So you're definitely not going to have any issues there either. But that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2022 Nissan Altima. All right, and so here she is, you guys, the new 2022 Nissan Altima, finished in deep blue pearl, in case anybody was curious of our exterior color name. But let me go ahead and touch on the exterior new changes for the 2022 Altima, and they will include a midnight edition trim, obviously adding a bunch of black accents to the exterior. Also, the SV Premium package now adds heated exterior mirrors with LED integrated turn signals as well. But it's pretty much what's new, at least when it comes to the exterior of the Altima. Let's go ahead and start up front now. Large V-motion front grille in typical Nissan fashion there, with active grille shutters, meaning they will open and close dependent upon the engine cooling that is needed at any given time. Chrome accents you're going to find up there if you go with one of the non-SR trims. Dark chrome accents for the SR trims, and then black accents obviously for the Midnight Edition trim. Halogen projector headlights then to the side, only if you go with the S. Still getting the automatic feature though, so that's good, meaning when it starts to get dark at night, the headlights will turn on automatically for you there. But if you were to go with the SV trim level and up, you're going to get LED projector headlights, which is what we have today, obviously, with LED signature daytime running lights and the automatic feature as expected, and then LED fog lights down below if you were to go with the Midnight Edition trim level and up. But pretty much rounds out the front end of this one. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the side of the Altima. All right, so now since we are around to the side of this one, black or chrome window surrounds, dependent upon the trim level that you go with, of course. Towards the back, you guys can probably see there is a floating roof line finished in black. Taking a look at the side mirrors, they are body colored power adjustable side mirrors. They will be black side mirrors for the Midnight Edition and SR trim levels, heated for the Midnight Edition trim level and up, and then LED integrated turn signals for the Midnight Edition trim level and up yet again. Then take a look down to the wheel configuration. Of course, they are going to differ pretty substantially amongst the trims again. 16-inch steel wheels with covers, aka hubcaps, for the S trim level. 17-inch aluminum alloy wheels for the SV and SL trims, and then 19-inch aluminum alloys, which is currently what we have, of course, for the SR trims, as well as the Platinum. But that pretty much rounds out the side profile of this one. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of this one, body colored shark fin antenna found on the roof there, obviously. If you wanted a rear spoiler, there will be a black rear spoiler for the Midnight Edition trim level, and of course there are aftermarket spoilers available then as well. Trim level badging found on all Altimas as well. Body colored or charcoal rear diffuser, dependent upon the trim level that you go with. We obviously have the charcoal down there. Looks pretty darn good, actually. And then to the sides, dual exhaust outlets with chrome tips if you were to go with the SR trim level and up. So again, what we have today. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. So now since we are around to the back of the Altima, there are a few different ways to go ahead and open that rear trunk. There is a button on the key fob, there is a button by the driver's side left knee, and there is of course a button on the trunk then as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 15.4 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, and that's actually a decent amount, there is a 60-40 split, meaning the rear seats do fold down for quite a bit of extra space then if you needed it. Also in that cargo area, you will find some cargo lighting, and if you lift up underneath of the cargo floor, you are going to find a spare tire in case you were curious about that. Then make our way to the rear legroom. That is going to come in at 35.2 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in those rear seats. Rear ventilation is going to come with the SL and Platinum trim levels only. There are rear charging ports for the SV trim level and up, and that's going to be a USB charging port as well as this traditional phone charging port back there. Rear center armrest with cup holders then is also going to be available on this one, and we do have that as well. But But then make our way up to the front seats, manually adjustable cloth seats coming with the S, 8-way power driver's seat coming with the SV trim level and up, 4-way power adjustable passenger seat for the Platinum trim level, heated front seats for the Midnight Edition trim level and up, leather seating for the SL and Platinum. And I do like the leather cloth combination that we have in our SR, actually. Big fan of that. And you got some orange vertical accents running down the seats as well. It's pretty cool. Memory settings then coming with the Platinum trim level, but overall, insanely comfortable seats. Some of the more comfortable seats I've sat in quite a while, so very well done, Nissan, with the seating. Then take a look at the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping. It is a flat bottom, gotta love that. Leather wrapped for the SR trim level and up, and it will be heated then for the SL and Platinum, and it does telescope out insanely far, so if you're a taller adult, this is definitely going to be a very good vehicle for you, because like I said, the steering wheel is very adjustable. But anyways, then making our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key. Essentially, all of your buttons are located on one side of the key. Got your Nissan logo at the top, as well as lock, unlock, the button to pop the rear hatch, and then there is a remote start. Also coming standard on all trim levels across the board, but also there is keyless entry with a push button start for all trim levels as well. So all I'm going to do here, simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located directly in front of the shifter. And so once started up, the gauge cluster is going to differ amongst the trim levels. For the S trim level, you're going to get a 5-inch LCD cluster in the middle. For the SV trim level and up, you're going to get a 7-inch LCD cluster, but you still got the tachometer on the left. Speedometer is going to be on your right, and to control everything within that digital portion of the gauges, there are steering wheel mounted controls found on the left side of the steering wheel, giving you things like a digital speedometer if you wanted to go that route, how many miles you have left until you hit empty, fuel information at any given time. The list goes on. Pretty much everything you could possibly want on the digital portion of the gauges, at least. Then take a look at overall interior quality. If you wanted the power moonroof, go with the Midnight Edition trim level and up. Interior accent lighting for the Platinum, home light controls for the Platinum, auto dimming rear view mirror for the Platinum. That really gives you everything you could possibly want. Wood trim for the Platinum and SL trims. Dual zone climate control coming with the SL trim level and up. Just in front of the shifter, you're going to have a USB charging port, auxiliary port, and a phone charging port, and a 12-volt power outlet as well. A little bit of rubberized storage as well, which is more than likely where you're going to put your cell phone so it doesn't slide around. Just behind that, you do have dual cup holders, and within the center armrest, a decent amount of storage. And I like that there's orange contrast stitching on the center armrest as well. That was pretty nice as well. But overall, I'm digging the orange contrast stitching that we have everywhere in our SR trim level. I like the carbon fiber look that you can find on the doors as well, although it's not authentic carbon fiber, but it still looks pretty darn good. Other than that, a very practical interior that will get the job done. But then let's go ahead and take a look at the infotainment screen here. 7-inch color touchscreen display coming with the S, 8-inch color touchscreen display coming with the SV trim level and up. Either way, you get Bluetooth and audio streaming. However, you do need the 8-inch color touchscreen display to get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, so I wanted to emphasize that. Factory navigation system with the SL and Platinum. You can check out a bunch of driving statistics up on that screen as well if you wanted to, along with your radio information. And by the way, there are 2 different sound systems that you can get on the Altima. 6 speakers are going to come with the SV SR Midnight Edition of VC Turbo, but there is a 9-speaker Bose sound system that's going to come with the SL and Platinum. But like I said, we don't have that one today. We actually got the 6-speaker sound system, so let's go ahead and turn on the radio, see what we got playing today, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Quite possibly one of the best 6-speaker sound systems I have ever heard. The bass was incredible for 6 speakers. Clarity was on point. Honestly, Bose sound system's going to be a little bit better, but that was dang good for a 6-speaker sound system. Like I said, probably one of the best that I've heard, at least when it comes to 6 speakers. But anyways, last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on that infotainment screen is when you do put the Altima in reverse, you will of course find a rear view camera coming standard across the board, but the Platinum is also going to give you a surround view monitor, which is always going to lead us into safety. And so to start, the Altima is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which is the very highest rating given by IIHS, so that pretty much says it all right there. Front side curtain airbags do come standard, driver and passenger knee airbags as well. In the back, you're going to get latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard for all trim levels will be a forward collision warning system, autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, driver attention monitoring system, and high beam assist as well. And then if you were to go with the SV trim level and up, that is going to add to that and intelligent trace control, active ride control, rear parking sensors, reverse automatic braking, and a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert. And then if you were to go with the SL or Platinum, you're also going to get Pro Pilot Assist then as well. So overall, when it comes to my final thoughts here of the new 2022 Nissan Altima, SV trim level and up is really where it's at, just simply because of the safety. I'll put it that way, because if I were in the market for a new Nissan Altima, I would get the all-wheel drive because we're here in Frederick, Maryland. We do get a good bit of snow, and I would get the SV trim level and up because that is where all the safety features have been added. So that's my personal opinion. Also, double powertrain warranty at younger Nissan. I gotta mention that. That's incredible. Let me know what you guys think of the new Altima in the comment section below. That is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen if you wanted to see what's coming next on the channel before it actually gets to YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video.